You're tuned into Visions, a business and community affairs program designed to encourage and promote entrepreneurship in Central Alabama.
Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Vision. Cedric Vaughn, very excited about our guest today. We're extremely honored to have U.S. Representative Terri Sewell in the studio and on the program with us today. Congresswoman, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
For coming to be with us. Very excited. I had an opportunity even this morning to see you at the ASU Bridge Builders Breakfast, and you were the featured guest and speaker. You shared some great things for the community. As we start, this is February. Yep. And this is Black History Month, as we call it, and we want to recognize you and say congratulations once again to you for your position as Congresswoman for the 7th District. You happen to be a female and African American.
And you know, look, every day I'm very cognizant of the fact that others paved the way for me to have the opportunities that I enjoy. And you know, for me, whenever I get down and out in the halls of Congress, I always pass by Shirley Chisholm's portrait, and I get a little pep in my step because she really forged the path as the first African-American Congresswoman ever to serve.
And speaking of Shirley Chisholm, we saw that I think it's the U.S. Postal Service just released a stamp.
A beautiful stamp.
It was really, really nice. In fact, I got one when I was at
I know, it's on my Facebook page. I love it.
Yeah, really good, really good. Well, just have a short amount of time because you've got a lot of things to do. One of the things that you're doing is you've launched the Congress in Your Community Town Hall Meeting Tour. And so we're very excited about it, and you'll be here in town today on one of those stops. And so kind of, if you will, give us an overview of what it is that you want your constituents to know and the reason you're doing this tour.
I think it's really important that every year we go to all 14 counties and have a town hall meeting with our constituents. It's a big district. I mean, from one end of the district to the other end of the district is about 6.5 hours. Wow. You know, we cover Choctaw and Clark, so up towards Tennessee. So it's really, I think it's a very big district, and it's important, I think, to have an opportunity to connect with my constituents. It gives me a chance to give them an update, a legislative update as to what's going on in Washington, and most importantly, it gives me an opportunity to listen to their concerns and their issues, and therefore be a better representative for them in Washington.
And so you'll be on that tour even for the next couple of days?
Absolutely, and so we have we're in Birmingham. We were in Birmingham yesterday, and so we did several town hall meetings in Birmingham. We're in Montgomery today. Tomorrow we'll be in Whitehall, and we'll be in Greene County and Greensboro. And so I'm really excited about the opportunity to meet with constituents. Last night we were in Selma. Okay. We'll be in Lowndes County, I said yesterday. Yeah. And so for me, it's just an opportunity for me to stay connected. You know, things in Washington are so dysfunctional, and at the end of the day, it's about the grassroots. It's about the people that you represent, and the best way that you can represent them is to know what their issues and concerns are. And so I've had it's mutually beneficial to have these town hall meetings, and I'm committed to doing an annual tour, and this is the first week of the tour, and this coming March, we'll do another week-long tour.
Well, you talked about your constituents and understanding their concerns and their needs. And one of the things that you spoke about this morning was the Affordable Care Act and the importance of it for our residents that we have 600,000 uninsured Alabamians. 600,000
uninsured Alabamians. They're underinsured or uninsured, and it's really unacceptable. And in my district alone, we have a disproportionate number that are uninsured. And so it's the law of the land. It's not a perfect law, the Affordable Care Act, but it is the law of the land. And it's a policy that provides access to quality, affordable health care for every American. And we need to take advantage of it, full advantage of it. We've had 5 Affordable Care Act enrollment workshops throughout our district. We had one here in Montgomery, and it's important for us to get the right information out to the people so that they understand and can make better decisions for their families, health decisions for their families. It's not a perfect bill, but the rising cost of health care is such a big proportion of our GDP. Something had to be done, and I'm proud that the President is standing firm about it, and you know, the rollout is occurring, and people have until March 31st in order to enroll for this year. And I think that those who are uninsured should get insurance. It's really important. I also believe that you know, so many people fall in the gap between not being, making too much money so that they are not eligible for Medicaid, but not being old enough to be on Medicare. I call it the working poor. And they fall in that gap. And it was my hope that the state of Alabama's legislature would agree to extend Medicaid to those folks. They're in need of health care insurance, and they fall in that gap. And it would have been great if the state of Alabama had extended Medicaid. And I hope that our legislators are listening and our governor's listening. The opportunity to get up to $20 billion from the American government, from the federal government, to institute this law is a great opportunity for this state to stimulate jobs and the economy here in our state.
Well, when you talk about speaking to the need, you gave a great example this morning of the student from UAB. And you just kind of share with our viewers, once again, that story and the importance of the health care. You know,
I've been hearing lots of negative testimony about the Affordable Care Act, but for every person who comes to me and says that their insurance has gone up because of the Affordable Care Act, I can give them 4 stories to match their one story of how it's been beneficial. Most recently, a UAB student came up to me and gave me a huge hug. She was an honor student, and the fact that she can stay on her parents' health care plan through her medical school until she's 26 is a great benefit. But most importantly, she suffers from sickle cell anemia. And the fact is that once she's off her parents' health care plan, she won't be discriminated against for having a pre-existing condition. And I believe in the greatest country in the world, people shouldn't go broke trying to afford medical. And everybody should have medical care. And so I really wish that my colleagues on both sides of the aisle in Washington would try to look to reform the health care bill, not repeal the health care bill. No law is perfect, and working together we could make it a better, stronger law. And I really believe that in the future we'll see the Affordable Care Act in the same way that we respect and laud the Social Security and Medicare programs.
Well, you know, one of the other things that you talked about even in your session this morning was, as you were listening to your constituents, that your constituents did want to work.
Oh yeah.
And that you have been having job fairs in your district to serve them, and that you also have other job readiness initiatives.
Yeah, you know, Cedric, I grew up in this district. I grew up in Selma, Alabama, and we've had systemic poverty and high unemployment. It's generational, it's cyclical, and we have to figure out a way to break the cycle. And the #1 issue, in my opinion, in this district is unemployment. And I think that the best thing I can do is to use my office as a conduit for the change that I want to see in the district. I want folks to have access to better economic opportunities. And so we're committed to having an annual job fair. We had our very first job fair in Birmingham. And it drew 5,000 job seekers and over 100 employers there. And, you know, it just goes to show you that it's not that people don't want to work, it's that they lack opportunities to work. And so I'm more resolved than ever to try to provide those resources and opportunities where they're needed. And, you know, some people in line weren't dressed for success and didn't have a resume in hand. And so our office came back and we really worked hard to roll out a job readiness initiative that we call Project Ready. And Project Ready stands for realizing everyone's ability to develop yourself. It's about self-empowerment and, you know, giving people the tools they need to better empower them and to want better opportunities for themselves. I always say that what we lack in economic prosperity in the 7th Congressional District, we more than make up for in heart and in fight and in spirit, strong work ethic. What we need are better opportunities, better resources. And so I see my job as being the, you know, being a conduit for that and making sure that I provide federal opportunities and federal resources to the district.
That's excellent, excellent. Very excited. One of the things that you said this morning also was about your vision for financial literacy summits. and how important that is for the education of our residents.
Yeah, you know, I sit on the Financial Services, the House Financial Services Committee, and I bring to bear almost 18 years of legal experience as a finance lawyer. But I think that the most important thing that I can do for my constituents is to have financial literacy summits and workshops. I think that so often people, you know, don't have the information at hand to make better choices with their money, how to go about saving, and how to go about budgeting. And I think that it's important to bring those resources to bear in our communities. So I'll be looking to partner with local businesses, financial service professionals, insurance professionals, to actually bring to bear those resources, leveraging them to educating and better educating our constituents on financial products.
That sounds like a great initiative. And so as we have some of our residents, you know, are seeking new employment, and I think that we had a bill that we're trying to get through, which is unemployment benefits. What is your forecast as far as the possibility of that growth?
You know, look, I think that no one's more frustrated with Washington than me. The gridlock, the partisan gridlock, is real. You know, and it led to a government shutdown, which was unacceptable to the American people. And I think that we got the message. And so the fact that we passed a budget bill before we left for Christmas break was, I think, really important and truly telling. But I was also very disappointed that we did not extend emergency unemployment benefits for those folks who have been long-term unemployment, have been seeking job opportunities. And it's very important that we do. I just think that in this climate and environment right now, that may not happen. I don't see that the extension of unemployment benefits being on the table as we speak now. We did pass a farm bill, which is a step in the right direction as well. Not a perfect bill, but I know that the Alabama farmers, and especially our black and new farmers, will benefit from the new farm bill. And a lot of my catfish producers are excited about that. I think it's important that we give folks the proper guidance so that they can make better business decisions. You know, sometimes we can overregulate, but I think it's the role of government to help incentivize the business growth and opportunities.
Excellent. Well, Congresswoman, our time is already up. We want to thank you. You see how fast time goes.
Yeah.
We want to thank you for coming to be with us.
Well, thank you. Look, this is a journey, and I'm very honored that the folks of the 7th Congressional District have allowed me to be their Congresswoman, and hope that we can continue that journey. We're not where we want to be, but we are definitely progressing. The unemployment in our district has gone down. It's a measurable goal because every month the Department of Labor puts out statistics, and you know, when I took office, the unemployment in this district, the average unemployment was around 14%, and now we're at 9.5% or 10%. So it's not happening. We're making progress, and I think that the whole community can come in that progress.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Congresswoman.
Thank you.
We're excited. Thanks for being here. That's going to do it for us on this segment of Vision. Congresswoman Terri Sewell, please stay tuned. We'll be right back.